So.
Talked in the past about how, regardless of what went down with the trade, anything else, Detroit's a special place to you. You have friends there. You thought about what's gonna be like playing there?
Of course, you think about it. You know, what I mean, it's the first time going back since the trade. So, I mean, like I say, it's always a special place for me. And even like watching on film, you know, just seeing the turf and seeing the fans in the stadium, you know, it brings back memories. Of course, you know, I mean, that's Detroit is what made me, you know, into who I am now. So, forever grateful for my opportunity. It'd be great to see some good friends, you know. Hopefully I can see my training staff that was out there and those guys and equipment guys and all that. And, you know, it'll be different walking down that tunnel as a visitor. But, I mean, it is what it is, you know. I'm here now. I'm blessed. And think it'll be super, super dope. So say all that to say, you know, I mean, it's going to be a battle on Sunday. So we know that, they know that, and just want to say, you know, put my prayers up for Tracy Walker. He tore his Achilles on Sunday, so it's my guy, you know. So sucks to see it. He's a great player, and hate to not see him out there because just knowing him, the energy and the trash talk between me and him would have been cool, you know, even though he'll be on the sideline. But I just know him, and just wishing him well.
In what ways did Detroit make you who you are?
I mean, you got to think, bro. I spent my first 4.5 years in the league. So, you know, I mean, Detroit, when it took a shot on a 6th-round guy from Texas, you know, it might have not been me. I might not be who I am today. So I'm blessed, you know, the Ford family, you know, Jim Caldwell and that coaching staff. So, I mean, that's what made me. I mean, you guys got to think. You know, I mean, before I was here with you guys, I was in Detroit making a name for myself.
It was kind of hard at the time to figure out why they would trade you when you were playing at a high level, and still is. You made a couple Pro Bowls. Why do you think they traded you?
I mean, that's a different regime now. You know what I mean? Those guys are gone. You know, Dan Campbell's in, and I love what they're doing. So, you know, it's cool to see those guys back on the right track. You know, I'm not going to keep going down this same road. I mean, we've talked about it enough about, you know, why the situation happened with me. But if you don't know, I mean, it's stories, it's all type of stuff out there where you guys can dive in and dig in. And, I mean, you guys been around me long enough. You know I'm a pretty outspoken guy. Some people can't take that. So there you go.
Outside of the positions that you played, because you played all over the field there, how have you changed as a player in the last couple of years since coming here?
I think now the game is just really slowed down. You know, I've been able to really focus in on one position, and you know, don't get me wrong, it's cool being multiple and figuring things out, but you become good at a lot of things and not great at one thing, you know. And I think being here, you know, being with Pete and being with, you know, my former coach Andre Curtis, and now with K. Scott and Sean, you know, I kind of get to stick in one spot, and you know, I play the game. It's a battle between me and the quarterback, you know, and I feel like anything across the middle, I mean, I should be able to affect that. So, I mean, I've grown so much being here, and mentally, I'm just in a better place, better headspace here. You know, I think it's just when you're able to be yourself, you know, you can be a full player, and you don't have to hide who you are. You know, I can get pissed off and say what I want, and you know, Pete kind of looks at me and laughs sometimes. So, I think that's pretty cool.
Have teammates appreciated your candor for the most part?
I mean, I think my teammates know who I am. You know, I might catch flack from some fans, but, I mean, you guys have been around me enough is where it's like I'm cracking jokes all the time, and I'm always, you know what I mean? So I keep it light 95% of the time, and the 5% I go off, you know what I mean? Come on. We are playing. It is a business, you feel me? So at the end of the day, you know, you got to do what you do. But, you know, I'm pretty chill, bro. I feel like I'm a vet. I'm not too old, but, like, I keep it young, and I just say what I got to say. And, you know, my teammates respect that. I don't say a lot, you know. I really don't. Like, as far as, you know, rah-rah speeches and all that, you guys see me pregame. I'm just kind of secluded to myself. I'm not doing much, you know. I don't really do the rah-rah stuff. You know, I'm more of I get a point across and then I keep it going. But, you know, I feel like I'm more of a helper with like trying to get you to do assignments right and doing things like that besides being a rah-rah guy.
You might have answered this question when Jen asked it, but you were productive in Detroit. You're a two-time Pro Bowler here. Is that just focusing on one position, or have the Seahawks done something to unlock your talent, or have you grown? What do you attribute the spike in production to?
I mean, what is this? I think this year 5 playing safety or whatever. It's only my 5th year playing safety or something like that, 4.5, whatever it is. I will say, like, I told K. Scott this the other day. I think since moving to safety, I've been a Pro Bowl or a Pro Bowl alternate every year. You know what I mean? So I think in my case is more of, I'm at a position where I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, nickels, I was really comfortable at nickel and I played well at nickel, but I mean, Kenny Moore was the only nickel to really make the Pro Bowl in the last how many years, you know what I mean? So you don't get a lot of love at that position, but in the building you do, but outside the building you don't. So I think moving to safety, it becomes more of a premier position and people look at it differently. So I think people just look at my game differently and, at nickel it's hard to get interceptions. When you're in the post, you get your interceptions here and there when you take advantage of those. So I kind of think that's what it is. But, interceptions, they come, they go. But, you find the ball. And I think once you find the ball, people respect that a little bit more.
Yeah.
The Lions' offense has kind of turned a corner here, at least for the first 3 games. What has made them so dangerous on passing and run?
I mean, they're leading the league in rushing, first of all. The guys up front, those guys are really, really good. A few of my teammates up there, I think they got like 3 first-round picks up on the front of the line. So those guys are good, productive, really, really good players that, I love those guys. And Decker and freaking Frank and, Panay Sewell, I love those guys. And off the field, on the field, they're good people. But, they're running the ball at a high level. And, you got Swift and you got Jamal Williams, who's, really the life of that team. And they're running it tough. And then Jared Goff's always been a good, steady quarterback that can make the throws and do things like that. So those guys are playing well. And then you got 14, who's, he's been on a tear since he's came in the league. So a lot of respect to him. He's a guy that, I like to watch because you can tell he has that chip on his shoulder. And, I like guys like that.
Is there a point where communication can be counterproductive as far as the amount of communication with maybe young guys or rookies during the course of the game that they start overthinking?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think the young guys that I'm playing with, those guys are pretty on their P's and Q's and they know, adjustments, they know things like that. Do I have to be a little bit more vocal sometimes? Yeah. But, those guys are heck of a guys, between Reek and between Kobe. Those guys are on their stuff. They know their stuff. Sometimes I might have to shake Reek a little bit to wake him up. But other than that, he's good, bro. He's making big strides every week. And, I have little talks with him here and there, and I have talks with Kobe here and there. But, those guys they're locked in. Mike Jack, I'm not too worried about him. He's been around, a little bit longer, and he knows his stuff. So don't really have to talk to Mike Jack. If he has a question, he asks me. But most of the questions are filtered to me anyway. So I'm usually able to knock out a lot of that early in the week.
When you pull Kobe and Tariq aside, what are the basis of those conversations? What are you trying to get across?
Just adjustments, what I see on film. I've been blessed, going back to the multiple position. I play corner, I play nickel, I play free, strong, and dime. So I see the game at I see the game at everybody's point of view, you feel me? So, I know the tough plays for corners, I know the tough plays for nickels, I know the tough plays for freaking dimes and all that. So I try to sympathize with those guys and tell them, like, hey, like, this just kind of how it is. We all in a bad spot at some point in the game. We just got to make a play and live that down out and get through it. But little tips I see, depending on what teams are doing, I just try to sprinkle that in on them and just let them take as much as they can take and, not too much. You don't want to, overload those guys. You want them to play fast and just kind of play free, because sometimes the more you know, and I find myself in this situation sometimes, the more you know, the more you think about stuff and you see stuff and you're like, oh, I know this. But you've played football so long, you kind of slow yourself down. So just kind of having a clear mindset.
Has anything changed in your role, either on the field, what you kind of do, or leadership with Jamal being out?
Nah, not really. I mean, it sucks to say, but we kind of been in the position before, you know what I mean? So I just try to be there as much as I can, missed some practice time last week and the week before. So I feel like that burns me inside, because I hate not being out on the practice field. I mean, but I think just being able to have my voice heard and, being there for the guys when they need me, I think that's really important to me. But I think, the thing you do miss is just his energy and his passion for the game. And for me, I miss, of course, one of my closest friends, so I don't think much has changed for me. It's just now, instead of us talking in the building for 8 hours out of the day, we just texting and texting and stuff most of the day anyway. So it's just kind of what it is.
You mentioned being used to not playing alongside him because of the injuries, but you haven't played very many games with Josh Jones to this point. Where do you think the chemistry is at right now, not having a lot of reps in game action with him?
I think it's developing. I think it's developing. I think it takes time. Me and Josh played the last game of the season together last year before I got hurt, and he was thrown in and he stood up. So I mean, he's gonna stand up. That's who he is. He's a guy that's resilient, and he's a guy that he can do everything well. He can do everything well, and I think the game now will continue to slow down for him, and we'll continue to feed off each other. He'll know, some of the things, like that me and Maul just knew, like we can look at each other and it was, hey, you know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So now it's just continuing to build that chemistry, and that'll happen with practice and me being out there, which I'll be out there. So I think it'll be cool.
You mentioned the 3 young quarterbacks, but with Tariq in particular, what have you thought of his start and how he's coming along?
I mean, he's coming along great. He's showed that during camp. He showed who he was during camp, and I'm hard on him, pause, but I really am, just because of the fact he's a Texas guy. He's somebody that I was super excited when we drafted him, and I just think you have a different bond with guys when they're kind of from the same state, and you kind of see this guy's like, hey, like, I want to pour all my knowledge into you, because I want you to be great, because I believe you can be great, So I'm excited for what he's doing. He's growing every week. He's getting more communicative out there, and everything is taking off for him. He just has to continue to learn ball and continue to put the work in and learn ball, which he's doing, and that comes with time. He's new to the position, but things are happening fast for him. He's thrown into the fire. Like I told him on Sunday, like, we ain't really trying to hear the rookie stuff, We don't want to hear that, It's time to get thrown in there. I mean, I've had that experience before where I was thrown in the fire and nobody cared that I was a rookie. You just got to go out there and play to the highest level and, uphold that standard that's supposed to be out there.
How familiar with him were you before the draft?
I wasn't familiar with him too much, but, I mean, you get familiar with guys when you see all over ESPN and NFL Network, you see a 6'4" guy run a freaking 4.2, and he's from UTSA. You're like, well, why the hell didn't he go to the University of Texas? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, so, like, of course, I'm like, jeez. And then, as the draft going on, I'm watching the draft. Like, I'm in Napa, and I'm freaking on my phone looking at the draft, and, like, I'm like, oh, he's still available. I text Pete and them, I text Pete or what's up? We gonna make the move, and heck, they drafted him. It's like, you'll like this guy. As soon as we got it, I text him and Kobe, and it was time to go to work. That's just, it's just small stuff that, people will never see me do, because I don't like to do stuff. I don't do stuff for attention. You feel me? I do stuff out of the kindness of my heart, and just welcome those guys, because that's what my old heads did for me, So that's just kind of what it is. But I was super excited.
You even texted Pete during the draft,
You said, oh, I text Pete during the draft. I text Hurt during the draft. Come on, bro. I'm trying to win. You feel me? I mean, it might not work, but hell, at least I texted them and let them know where I stand on the situation. But I mean, it's cool, to have guys that you see through the draft process, and of course, I got all the old heads on Twitter dissecting film, and Ryan Clark and Will Blackman and those guys. So I'm like watching the tape as they putting on, they putting their little highlights on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, okay, he got some plays, like he legit. So of course, I mean, I look at certain stuff.
Quandre, it's early in the week still, but you mentioned after the game the need for the defense to be better. How do you feel your group's going to answer the challenge, the sense you get from the guys looking to attack that and push forward this week?
I mean, we started on the right foot this morning, so that's all I can ask for right now. We go out to practice and hopefully, and I'm not gonna say hopefully, we will have a good practice today, and we bring the energy and we go from there. You know what I mean? We just got to keep building throughout the week. You can't build one day then be stagnant one day. You got to build. So hopefully we do that and we keep going. That's all I can ask for the guys. That's it.
You've been close with Tyler a long time. You do anything for his birthday?
30th birthday. He's old.
You don't know for that 6 months you're a different age?
Hey, I already told him I don't turn 30 till next year. So he's the old head. I'm just here. Everybody worried about me being old, but Tyler's older than me, So, man, he looks older than me. But, I mean, I'm excited just to be here with one of my best friends, being able to be here to celebrate his birthday. And, it's rare that you get the opportunity to have, one of your best friends right there, and you can spend that birthday with them at work. You don't do that. So, it's been cool. I mean, we talked in the training room, and we both engaged now, so we got a lot to talk about in that aspect. So it's cool. You growing in life with one of your closest friends, and you get to be there for every step of the way. It's super dope.
If you're both engaged, you are old. If you're both engaged, you're really old. You're ancient.
I know some people that get engaged at 22, so I ain't too old. You know what I mean? Not too old.
When you said that you can be yourself here, you don't have to hide who you are. Is this your first football environment? You felt that way?
No, not my first. My first 3 years in the league with Coach Caldwell, I was able to do that. I was able to let loose and, just be who I am. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's just I'm an expressive person that wear my emotions on my sleeve, and sometimes I get mad. But most of the time I'm like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like this most of the time. I'm talkative and talk to who, but when I do get mad, I mean, sometimes it could change, you know what I mean? But I express my feelings, and I express my feelings to teammates, I express my feelings to coaches, but I've never had a problem with that before in my life until, the year and a half with the other regime. So, I mean, it's nothing different. I've always enjoyed football at every level, and I've always been able to be myself. It was just a small year and a half where it wasn't.
Did you watch Hard Knocks this year?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I ain't watched all of it, but I watched some of it. And I mean, it was the best one to me. It was the best one to me in a long time. Those guys are working. It's cool, seeing former NFL players as coaches. You know what I mean? When I look over there and I freaking see Antoine Randall and Deuce Staley and, Mark Brunell and Kelvin Shepard and Aaron Glenn, and you geez, these guys I grew up watching, you know what I mean? So to see them as coaches is super dope, you know what I mean? Super dope, and I think they brought it to life. Dan Campbell, he brings the energy every day. That's who he is. So, I mean, I think it was super dope, and shout out to my dog Shep. It's my former teammate, and he's a linebacker coach now. So it's crazy when I go over there and I see him. He's the linebackers coach. And we was just teammates 5 years ago, something like that. So they Hard Knocks was dope, though.
What do you think of the Seahawks around there? Do you want to be a part of it?
Nah, because if you on Hard Knocks, that means you lost too much. Nah, I think I'll be better off us winning. But, I mean, if it happened to get to that, I mean, that'd be very interesting. But I don't even want to think about that.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.